This is two protons meeting. What happens, the reason we're doing these collision experiments is, what we're actually doing is making matter. So you quite often hear particle accelerators or colliders described as atom smashers. And that sort of suggests that what we're doing is breaking atoms apart in order to see what's inside them. But that's not really what we're interested in. People have known what's inside atoms for quite a long time now. What particle colliders actually are ways of making matter that doesn't normally exist in the universe. They come together, the energy, their kinetic energy is converted into matter, and that's what you're seeing. So you're seeing hundreds of particles being created, and these are not things that are coming from inside the proton. Well, in some cases they are, but a lot of it is stuff that's being made, essentially, out of this kinetic energy. So that's great. So the LHC switched on for the first time successfully without blowing itself up in 2009. It ran for about 2.5 years until the Higgs announcement came in July 2012. There was a big moment of excitement back in 2016. This is the summer of 2016. A new bump turned up. I told you physicists like bumps. So this is a very similar plot to the one I just showed you. It's, again, adding up pairs of photons from inside, in this case, inside the ATLAS experiment. And what they saw, again, was something that maybe looked a bit like a bump, and it was at much higher mass this time. So the Higgs mass was about 125 protons, more or less. This thing was about 750 protons. So it was much, much heavier. And this created a huge amount of excitement at the time, possibly a little bit prematurely. So maybe this was just statistical fluctuation, but people did get very excited. This is a graph that shows the excitement of physicists. So this result was announced around the 15th of December, 2015, and this is the number of papers put on the archive over the next 10 days. So you can see just by Christmas Eve, there were almost 100 papers, theoretical papers, trying to explain what this little wobble in a graph was. So there was a huge amount of excitement, and maybe not justified. As it turned out, it wasn't justified, unfortunately. So when Atlas produced the result again with more data, what they found was this little wiggle had disappeared. And essentially it was that it wasn't no one made a mistake. It wasn't that the experiment had got it wrong. Just sometimes by luck or bad luck, sometimes you get a little fluctuation in your graph, and it makes you think briefly that you've discovered something new, but actually you haven't.